morning, everyone. Happy Thursday and welcome to the FOMC Aftermath. Currently, SPY is trading for 394.73, up from yesterday's close at 392.11, so about 0.75%. So we're up by so far. The QQQ is leading the way. Almost trading at 310 versus yesterday's close at 306. So that one's up like 1.2%. And then the VIX coming down with all of the market gyrations going up and down ends up in SPY trading flat, which ends up in VIX coming down. Currently trading at 2130, down 4.3% from yesterday's close at a little bit above 22. So today we have oil going up. So this should mean that there isn't any recession fears in the market. You have the dollar going down at the same time. And then you have the 10-year pulling back to trading at yesterday's lows. I think that the 10-year and treasury rates across the board are probably going to go higher based on the Fed saying that cutting rates is not in their base case, but the Fed futures are arguing against the Fed, saying that they're going to cut rates by 50 basis points by the end of the year. In December, they're expecting the federal funds rate to be 400 to 425 or 425 to 450, down from 475 to 500 currently. So the Fed futures don't agree with the Fed. They think that it's probably going to be some bank runs, bank failures, and that will cause the Fed to pivot. Could we see rates increase and then decrease? Yeah. That would probably happen once we get into the actual recession, which I think is probably still another like 6 months out or so. But SPY currently trading at 395.19, up 0.8% today. The Qs is up 1.3%. And if we go to the put debit spread that I had yesterday, this one is probably breaking even. Yeah. Currently trading at 38 cents. I originally bought it at 36. Watching for that 395.25 mark, but we are starting the day in bullish momentum with 50 RSI. I think we have a Fed member, Fed Bullard, speaking this morning, so that could end up changing sentiment. And then there is the services PMI coming out at 9:45, which could also change things around. But right now, certainly bullish, 70 on the RSI almost. IWM is actually up 1%, so that could actually be a leading indicator that we are risk on today unless that ends up pulling back. But IWM was also down the worst of the three indices yesterday. I think 2.8% is what it ended up down. So if that ends up slipping past yesterday's lows, then you could see some more pain in the market. But right now you're starting off bullish, which that usually happens when you have this kind of broad sell-off where pretty much everything falls at the same time. Usually you'll get a rebound in the morning. But yeah, the dollar is down. Oil is slightly up. 10-year is trading at the lows. TLT is coming down, though. So the long end of the treasuries, the 20-year treasuries, are selling off, which means that the 20-year treasury rate is going up. And then the VIX is down to $20.89 currently. Some more news that came out yesterday, as Powell was speaking, actually, was that the Treasury Secretary Yellen was saying that they're not going to backstop all deposits across all banks, whereas previously, like just a couple days, there was a rumor that they would be. So you're kind of having a tango with the banks right now. And if we look at KRE, the regional bank ETF, this one's only up 0.83%, currently falling on the market open. I think this one could probably head even lower, but hard to say. Let's see, XLF is still up 0.35. So this includes your more bigger banks, and it's a broader ETF versus KRE is just regional banks. But regional banks definitely seem to be taking the hit this morning. I wonder what is it? FRC is up to. FRC is up 5% this morning, up to 14, but that one's trailing behind now. Then another one that everybody is worried about was it Western Alliance? Yeah, WAL. This one's actually up 8%. Interesting enough. Not really following the rest of the regional banks at the moment. Good morning, Donald. IWM ex-dividend date is tomorrow. Could dislocate the price, possibly, if people want to get that dividend. Didn't really happen with QQQ for their ex-dividend date, so I'm not too sure about that. But anything is possible with this crazy market. Let's see, the Nike put debit spread, this one back down to 4 cents. So this one's basically losing max value. I ended up getting out of my Chewy put credit spread yesterday. I want to check in on that. Currently trading at 35.90. I was assuming that it would stay above 36, so good thing I got out of that position, because that one would be running at a loss right now. But yeah, QQQ trading at 310.25, SPY trading at 395.47, and I'm still going to hold my 394, 395 put debit spreads probably closer to the end of the day. I think that you'll probably get a rally again first thing in the morning just because of the broad sell-off yesterday, and then probably by the end of the day you'll come back down. I'm not sure if we'll go to new lows down to 392, but I do think that we would sell off by the end of the day, at least a bit. Oil is still rising right now, up 0.5%. Storage report is coming out soon, is what it's saying. So it might be rallying in anticipation of the storage report. Let's go to the economic calendar. So we have the jobless claims coming in basically at expectations this week with 196.25. Actually, that's a 4-week average, I guess. But the initial jobless claims came in at 191 versus 197 expected, so slightly lower, which shows that the labor market is still pretty hot. And then the continuing jobless claims showed a total of 1,694,000 or 1.694 million. Total jobless claims versus 1684 as of last week. So a small uptick in the total jobless claims, but not quite what we were seeing at the peak at 1715 just a couple of weeks ago. And then let's see. We got more data coming out pretty soon. I thought we had the PMI report coming out this morning. Oh, no, it's actually tomorrow morning at 9:45. That's unfortunate. So we're not going to get any data today. Besides new home sales and then the Kansas City Fed. So not really much going on today. Just the aftermath of the FOMC and what Treasury Secretary Yellen said in her testimony yesterday. Gold futures have been crazy. Yeah. Still holding 116, 115 Nike spreads? Yes. Still holding on to those. Nike's trading at 120, 150. It was down to 119 at close yesterday. So if the markets end up selling off, this could probably trade down to below 119, maybe down to 118 or so. And then I might be able to get out of those at like 15 a piece. That's what they were going for yesterday at close. So that's what I'll try to aim for. Looks like IWM is losing a little bit of ground, up 0.9% versus 1.1% earlier. My 385, 386 put debit spread for SPY is down right now. I think we could hit 385, 386, but we're going to have to clear the lows from yesterday at 392, and that seems to be a pretty decent support level. I've seen that number a few times in the last month. Let's see. Yeah, right around like 392.50 or so. We had the support here, resistance, resistance again, and then it ended up going up from that and then back down, and that's where we ended up bottoming. So that 392, 392.50 for some reason just seems to be very, very sticky. My price levels that I'm watching for 391, 395.25 currently was what we're trading at. 386.58 to the downside, 384.50 for the line tomorrow, and then for the top resistance at 399.03, which is where we kind of got stuck at yesterday, right before the Fed meeting, and then a little bit after the Fed meeting too. We ended up peaking right here, 399 again, and then pulling back. Yeah, looks like everything is starting to lose a little bit of ground, so IWM only up 0.7% now. QQQ still up 1.2, so QQQ is still leading the way, surprisingly. It doesn't seem to want to give up its gains that it's had over the past month, which is very strange. You would expect QQQ to be the leader to the downside, given that it's up so much over the past month. Square is down 20%. Yeah, so Square had a Hindenburg report. If y'all don't know who Hindenburg is, it is a short seller research firm that posts really scathing reports. So if you go to Twitter, Hindenburg, this is the tweet that they posted this morning in the blog that they did. So I'll link this here, but we'll just do a little quick synopsis on the Hindenburg based on the thread that they posted. So basically what they were harping on is that Block is supposed to help out the unbanked or underbanked demographic, and they're actually taking advantage of this population. Let's see. 2-year investigation systemically exploits the demographics it claims to help. The magic behind has not been innovative, but its willingness to mislead investors, facilitate fraud, avoid regulation, and dress up predatory products as revolutionary tech. Our research involved, they always do really deep dives. They interview ex-employees, and that's what really makes them so good as a short seller report. But yeah, SQ is down 18% today on that report. So they just made a bag for sure. And supposedly, part of this was that they were overstating their user counts, is what it's saying, and understating their acquisition cost. That was a couple of the highlights from it. And then let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, that seems to be the biggest headlines out of it. But SPY is still holding up at 396 right now, up 1%. Qs is up 1.5%. IWM actually made its way back up to 1.1. Do I think Tesla will drop today? What's Tesla trading at? I think that 200 mark is going to be a pretty tough resistance to break above. But yeah, the dollar still has a long way to climb to get back to where it was right before the Fed statement. And then the 10-year, also the same situation. It was at 3.53. I think that the 10-year is probably going to go back up above 3.6 and probably back up to the 3.7 to 4.0 range that it was in previously. But you still have another 0.2% to go up from where it's at right now at 3.5. So probably going to be waiting for a while on it. How many days to expiration on the SPY put spread? It's expiring today. And it's going for 30 cents right now, to assume SPY will be below 394 by the end of the day. Do you think VIX is high enough for an iron condor, or would you rather see it go up? Personally, I like to trade iron condors and credit spreads whenever VIX is lower rather than higher. So I think right now VIX is in a pretty good spot to be doing iron condors. Whenever it's below 25, generally it's better to be in credit spreads. When it's above 25, I think it's better to be in debit spreads, just because there's more volatility. To make the stock work in your direction with a debit spread, so you can get them really cheap for like 35 cents or so, and then if your direction ends up playing out, then you can turn that 35 cents to $1, right? So that's what I've been mostly doing with VIX above 25 as of lately. But with it coming back below 25, if it stays below this level, I would probably want to be more in credit spreads. But you can always have like VIX expansions to where it goes 20 to 30 in a very short amount of time, like you had over the last couple of weeks where it went from 19 to 30 in just a few days. So you have to keep a pretty close eye on the VIX for those wild swings. But yeah, definitely seems like bullish price action so far this morning at 63 for the RSI. Just based on the RSI, looks bullish. But it's a balancing game between that and IWM. If IWM ends up going negative, then the rest of the market would probably follow along, I think. But in order to go negative, it has to go to 171.50. So it's another dollar down from where it's trading right now. And this one's still bullish on the RSI too, at 59 right now. Do you ever consider out of the money credit spread to protect against too little downward movement? You could do that. I mean, I'm only expecting it to drop $2 from where it's at right now. So like 0.5%. So I don't think that it's too much to expect out of it. Especially after yesterday's, 1.8% drop or whatever by the end of the day. I think that 0.5% is pretty likely to happen in a daily time frame. But that wouldn't be a bad idea. You're also basically doubling down on the bearish position though. We're trading at 396 though, so it seems very tempting to take a 399 call credit spread. Let me see how much it's paying off. SPY. Assuming it's going to be 399 or below. Right now you're only getting 13 cents for today's expiration, but if you go 1 day out, you're getting paid 30. If you go 2 days out for, oh, no, sorry. Tomorrow's expiration is 30 cents. That's a pretty good credit, I would say. But you are betting against the RSI right now, currently at 70. So if you're doing it based on technical analysis, you would probably want to take the bullish positions this morning. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out today. Get rid of these. think I'm going to keep watching IWM and seeing if this goes below 50 RSI. I think if that's the case, that's when you'll get the slippage for the market. So we'll keep an eye on it. The 399 400 call credit spread for tomorrow's expiration is paying 29 to 31. Very tempting. Very, very tempting. I'll just want to wait for some sort of confirmation that will be bearish, which I'm sure we'll end up in getting in less of a credit, but we'll see. Let's check the fundamentals. Dixie is down still from yesterday's close. 10 years down still. VIX is at 2070. And TLT. It's interesting that TNX and TLT are down at the same time. Usually those are inverse one another, but they are two different treasury links, 10-year and 20-year. So it's not always going to be the case. Gold is at 184. So we're back to the highs almost for gold. Dow is lagging at 0.7. So the oil up and the Dow lagging behind doesn't seem to be more of a recession sentiment today. Curious if we'll get any more sort of bank news over the next couple of days, though. Especially with FRC. FRC seems to be kind of in the hanging on a thread. It's up 3.9% today, though. 1386 right now. And then KRE, that one's managing to break even right now at 43.40. Surprising KRE is down more than FRC. All right, this might be the pullback we need for IWM. Still at 57 RSI, so still got 7 points to go for RSI. That call credit spread for $3.99 is paying 28 now. It's probably going to pay like 26 or 27 by the time I'm ready to open it. Yeah, it's going for 27 now. Shame, shame. Get paid less for waiting. Wonder how the 2-year is doing now. Let's see. 2-year yield. Currently at 3.95. The 10-year is at 3.79. I think that means that it's widening. Let's see. 210 spread. CNBC. It's currently at 0.46 still. So that's still pretty high relative to being down 100 basis points before. So the steeper this yield curve starts to get, if it goes back up to 0, that's when you get the recession. But I still think that it's probably 6 months out, and I think that there is a delay for the 210 inverting back to 0 too. Forget how long exactly. I think it's on average like 2 or 3 months, but I'm not 100% sure on it. Looks like IWM got bought up at 172.50. Yep, IWM looks like it's going higher now. Retesting the highs at 173. I just hope we don't get trapped in some flat price action again. That would be annoying with this put debit spread at 394. But could happen. Could hedge it with an iron condor too. Let's see, SPY. We got the resistance at 399, support at 391. Let's see how much that pays. $391 is probably not going to pay much at all. You'd probably have to do $392 for the short, and you still only get paid 25-cent credit for it. Not really worth it, I don't think. All right, IWM's hitting the new high, so looks like we're going to have to head out of the put debit spread for SPY. $2.50 higher than where I need it. Could come back to 395 and make these worth 40 instead of 26 right now. But IWM is just not giving me too much confidence with this rally it's getting right now. Netflix premium is insane. I'll see Netflix. Whew. Up at 319, almost 320. Is there any news for it? It's up 9%. Looks like a earnings rally, but there's no earnings for it. Self-help series shows viewers how to get rich. Let's see if I can find it on FinTalk, the news app. Nothing on here. Very, very strange. Let me see if I can find it on by searching the ticker. Latest headline was Netflix bets big on the electric state in hopes to turn it into a franchise. Yeah. Not really much news, but it is rallying like hell. All right. I got some topping action for IWM here. QQQ is up 1.5% though. Probably leading by Netflix. Let's see what close was yesterday for IWM at 171.54. Wait a minute, that's not right. The close was 171.77. There we go. This is going to really burn some time for VIX, though. That's what really sucks about it. 10 years catching some bounce on it. Dollar is still trading lower. Oil is still going up. Price action is just all over the place today. Mostly up for equities, though, for stocks. Let's see how much that $3.99 is paying now. The spread increased to 32 cents now. That's pretty intriguing. If I can get 32 cents for it. The bid is at 31, so I might not be able to get it. Oh, now it's going for 33. Okay. I'll take 33 for it. There we go. Got filled for the call credit spread. All right. This will be a swing trade, probably. Might be a day trade, depending on how quickly we move. Just opened a new SPY call credit spread expiring tomorrow, which is the 24th at 33 each. Let's check back on the put debit spread, going for 25 now. I think I'm just gonna have to take the loss for the put debit spread expiring today. All right. Yeah, we're trading at 397 almost for SPY, so now pulling back 0.75%. It's probably gonna be out of the cards. Call credit spread that I hear for tomorrow, yes. Let's see, SPY. The put debit spread for today's expiration date, I'm going to have to axe. Got 6 of these, and it looks like I'm going to have to close them for 20 after I open them for 36. I closed 2 of them yesterday at 50 something. We'll double check that. All right, there we go. Still got some more put debit spreads though. So if we do get some downward action, still got profits to make. Closing options alert. Just cut losses for the SPY 394, 395. Put debit spread expiring today, 323 at 20 each. Did I not close all of them? That's weird. Okay. I was saying that I still had one left for some reason, but I do not. Closed 2 yesterday at 52. So 52 plus 2, or times 2, plus 20 times 6, total of 224 credit to close. SPY put debit 395, 394. Originally opened it for 288 credit, or debit. Originally bought 8 at 36. So for that trade was 288 minus 224. 64 for the loss. All right, and now magically IWM ends up pulling back after I get out of that position. Go figure. That's okay. Yeah, SPY pulling back to 394 would be pretty tough, but still in the cards, I would say. Maybe like a around 15% chance, 20% chance. Gold is pulling back now from 184.55. Dollar is just still trading flat. Could be a pretty boring day for the market today. Just a lot of whiplash back and forth, I'm guessing. Yeah, right after. Exactly. Let's watch the banks again. See if they're catching some support. Yep. So trading at yesterday's close, they ended up bouncing up from 43.18. Now they're trading at 43.68 for KRE, and FRC is at 14.18 right now. Damn, QQQ is just not really caring for anything right now. Up to 312 almost. 1.8%. Almost back to where it was. Actually, I think it is back to where it was for the Fed. Yeah. Opened to 311.51. Now it's back to that same price as before the Fed. Man, QQQ is just something else lately. BAC, Bank of America, has good support. We also got good support from the politicians, too. So confused what's happening right now. It's just a reversal from yesterday. Usually, whenever you get a really high breath or everything selling off at once, you get a rebound the next morning. Wall was going up. Is Wall still going up? Let's see. Still up 8%. Yesterday it closed at 32. Any put spreads for SPY or IWM expiring today or tomorrow? If I were to do a put spread, I'd probably do like a put credit spread for QQQ just because it is relentless lately. You would think that QQQ would end up leading the way down, but for some reason it's been the leader the whole time to the upside. It's been outperforming like hell. Even with the recession fears going on in the market, that would usually end up in high valuation stocks, growth stocks coming down, but QQQ just doesn't seem to really give a shit about it. So no sense of valuation and Qs. SPY met its top at 397. We'll see. Can't really trust it at 74 RSI. Still positive for RSI, or still above 50 for RSI, so. Thinking about extending the expiration date for my 385, 386 put debit spread. I have it for March 31st right now, but I wonder if another couple weeks would give me enough time. It's like $10 down from where it's trading right now. Over a 396. It's only 2.5%, but the markets are just so, up and down to where it's hard to really time it so much. Like on a weekly basis, you might go up 1.5%, down 1.5% the next day, but if you give it enough time, then it should move in the direction you would think. Manhattan grand jury isn't expected to take action Thursday in an investigation to DT Donald Trump. Tired of hearing about this. Could I show the reasoning why I did the call credit spread for SPY tomorrow? So you have the 399 mark that it ended up stalling at yesterday for the most part. after the meeting you went above it to 402.50, but then you ended up pulling back and it acted as a resistance again. So this 399 mark is pretty important to watch out for. And given that the Fed was more hawkish than what the markets had expected, with higher interest rates expected from the Fed, I think that the markets are probably going to pull back. Currently, it's trading at 396.40. So going up another 0.75% today seems pretty unlikely after yesterday's FOMC meeting. And then next couple of days, so today and tomorrow, I wouldn't expect that either. IWM's back down to 173. Just seems to be continuing to catch that support, though. Doesn't seem to want to dip below it too much. Do I normally close them before they expire? Or, do I let them expire, close at a certain percentage? I don't close at a certain percentage. I just close before the expiration usually. And I don't really have like a set percentage that I take. It's more so based on where the price action is. So SPY is trading at 396 right now. I'm assuming it's going to be below 399. I would say if we get a pullback below 395.25 or lower, say 394 or so, then these would probably be in the bag and I would take profits on them. But yeah, IWM just seems relentless to go up. And that's the main thing to watch today, I feel like. Really tempted to make the call credit spread into an iron condor for tomorrow too. But more worried about the downside. So I would want to go pretty low for the strike price on that. And I don't think you'll get much credit for it. Let's see. If I do tomorrow's expiration, put credit spread, you'll get paid 11 cents for assuming SPY will be above 390. That's not a bad trade. 1.75% is where it's, or 1.8. It would have to fall 1.8% between today and tomorrow. Could happen. But with a bullish price action today with IWM and above 50 RSI for everything, doesn't seem too likely. I just don't like getting 10 cents of credit. It doesn't feel like enough. Maybe we can wait for a pullback and then get more credit out of it. China Ministry of Finance opposes the forced sale of TikTok. I read that earlier. Not really news for us. Got to open a put position for SPY credit spread on SPY expiring today since it's topped at 397 already. Take profits now or wait till expiration. I would probably hold that, depending on what strike price you choose, obviously, until we go below 50 RSI. And then that's when I would probably get out of that trade. Because right now we're still bullish based on the RSI. Do I think UVIXI will go up? I think that UVIXI will go up in time, yeah. It might take a couple of days for the bond markets to realize what's going on with the Fed. Let's see, the 10-year is still trading at the lows of yesterday. I think that's probably the wrong reaction. I don't, like Fed Chair Powell was saying in his remarks on SVB, I think it's a very isolated incident to where they weren't hedging their risk. It was poor management. And there's probably other banks that did similar things. Like we know that Signature Bank did the same thing. We might have FRC going bankrupt, but I don't think that it's going to be a system-wide thing. I think it's just these banks that were taking on all of these treasuries and then not hedging their positions with interest rate swaps. And I don't think that's very widespread. It's a very common practice in risk management to hedge your bonds with interest rate swaps in the banking industry. So that's more so on Signature Bank and SVB for failing to manage. And they also had all of 2022 to sell out of their bonds too when the Fed was saying that they're going to continue to raise rates. So again, I think it's just poor management, and I'm not sure that's really a widespread issue. Got in at 391, 390. Take my finger off the trigger. Yeah. Let's see. SPY's trading at 396, 397 almost. Yeah, 391, 390 I would say is perfectly fine. That's below yesterday's low, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Especially if it expires today. I would think that would be going for like less than 5 cents. So personally, I would probably take profits for it. But that's me. Let's see. Yeah, the 391, 390 is paying 6 cents now. So I'd say it's worth taking profits for it. But this is the main thing to watch today. So IWM is trading at 173.11. It keeps catching a bid or bouncing at 173. If it slips below that and you see below 50 RSI, that's when you'll probably get the shift to the downside for the rest of the market, I think. It's at 173.09, so it's getting close, but every time that it hits that 173 mark, it just seems to want to bounce on it. So we'll see if we end up cracking below or not. All right, we're testing it again. Might break through. Yep. Might get the follow through here. Either that or you're just going to get a really big wick out of it. Nope. Ended up flushing. Don't know if you've already explained, but what happened with Square, and is it a buy now? So what happened with Square was a Hindenburg report. So it's a notorious short seller who posts short selling research firm, not just one person, who posts really scathing reports about different companies. They hit a few other companies, I forget, like Nikola, I think, was one of them. They ended up hitting Workhorse a while ago. There's been a ton of reports that they've posted, but basically anytime that they post a report, it hits the headlines and ends up sending stocks down a shit ton. With Square, they're down by probably 20%, 15% right now. So basically, this short seller posted a report about them, took on a short position before they opened it, obviously. Probably already closed out of it since it was down 20%, but this is the report that they had posted, if you want to read through it. Which trading platform do I use for trading itself? Robinhood, and then for the charts back here, Thinkorswim. But yeah, it looks like IWM caught that support at 173 again. So lots of nothingness for the market. Yeah, nothing burger. Exactly. Today is going to be a nothing burger. Probably. I'm going to set an alert for if IWM goes negative, though. Just in case we get some price action at the end of the day. 170, 177 is the mark to look for IWM. And I think that would probably translate for SPY down to like 394. QQQ, it's hard to say where QQ would be, but probably 310 or 309. Looks like IWM is going up again. All right. Well, if this ends up breaking 173.50 to the upside, I think it's probably just going to be bullish for the rest of the day. Let's see if we can find a decent position for the upside. QQQ at 312 could retest that 314 mark again. If anything's going to be super bullish, it would be QQQ. Probably want to give it a couple days till expiration, though. So maybe the March 27th expiration. It's going for 50 cents, though. So you're getting a 1-to-1 risk reward. Not really worth it there for the risk reward ratio. IWM could just burn time, though, at 173 to 173.52. We'll see. My bet would be to the upside for IWM since it's above 50 RSI. If it hangs above 50 RSI today, I would think that it would manage to recover. Maybe we can just take an IWM position. Tomorrow's expiration, maybe to 175. That's going for 46 cents. Kind of expensive. 45 cents now. Still kind of expensive, but let's see. Maybe a put credit spread would be better for IWM. Kind of turn it into an iron condor just with two different indexes. Assuming maybe over 172 by the end of the day. That's actually paying pretty good. Paying 26 cents to assume IWM will stay above 172 from 173.47 right now. All right. Just keeps getting stuck between 173 and 173.50. I'm going to open the position, though. Open them at 26 apiece. This will be a day trade. Premium members. Just opened a new IWM, put credit spread, expiring today. Actually, tomorrow, 3/24. As your 26 each. Strike prices again 171, 172. Assuming that it's going to stick above the lows yesterday. let you do level 3 options. Do you know anywhere else you can go to trade spreads? Probably Aries would be a good one. TD Ameritrade. They're more strict on their risk management, so you might not be approved by them. Or you could try, what's it called? Tasty Trades. They might be a little bit more lenient. So Tasty Trades, Trade Aries, or Thinkorswim will be probably your best bets. When do I think we'll start heading to the line? We could be reaching it early next week. Let's see. The line is at 384.50. We're at 397.20, so we're a long way from it right now. But I would say probably give it a week or two. By the 31st, we might be down to 383. And then if it's a week later, that would be down to 382 or so. And I'll probably be closing that IWM put credit spread by the end of the day. Looks like we went above 173.50 finally. Up 1.6%. Almost at 174. That could turn into a quick profit. Let's see, they're up by 7% right now. So not very much. Still got a lot of time for them. Expiry though. But yeah, credit spreads are probably going to be your best bet right now with the VIX at 20.4 until it gets back above 25. But yeah, that's all the trades I got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, Friday at 9:30. What's Gucci? See you, everybody.